And we're welcome to Just for Clicks, guys. I am Michael Buckcaster here with Mike LeBlanc tonight. Mike, first things first, man. How is your night going so far?
Man, I'm having a great night. We had a great day today at work. I'm having a great day. How are you?
You know what? I finally made it to Kansas, made it to Mama Buck's house. And so, guys, the show is simply going to be raw and uncut like it should be, like a normal podcast used to be back in the day. So, if you guys are new here, obviously like the Facebook page. If you're listening to us on Direct City or Charm City Direct TV. There you go, Mike. Be sure to let us know that you are watching from Charm City all over there. If you're watching on the Just for Clicks page, welcome. Be sure to share it with a couple friends as well. If you miss any part of the show whatsoever tonight, be sure to go ahead and listen to us again on iTunes, as they'll be posted directly after this live feed, or on rtfsportsnetwork.com at the noon edition on East Coast time. So first things first, Mike, what is on your mind tonight?
Man, all right. So last show I was on, I had some things I had to do last night. But Mike Reeves, this kind of goes out to you. So we talked about the NBA season being a March Madness type season, and here we are looking at it. Top 22 teams, when the season was suspended in March, they will all take part at Orlando Disney World for a March Madness style playoff. I think it's going to be 22 teams to Orlando, 13 West Coast Conference, 9 Eastern Conference, 8 regular seasons games per play in for 8th seed, July 31st, October 12th. So here's my thoughts on this. The NBA season now is come down to we just want money, right? Because they're gonna make a lot of money in Orlando. They really are. TV, ticket sales, everything like that. I think this season should be a wash. You didn't have a full season. Whoever wins the championship is going to have an asterisk by their name. And we debated this on our last show, whether if LeBron wins or not, whether it's going to hurt or help his career. I'm still on the fence about it because, it's a short path to the championship. You don't have that grueling season. So that's what's on my mind tonight. I think NBA should just watch their season, be done with it, come back next season.
So, Mike, I'm never going to challenge your thoughts by whatsoever here, but last night I talked about this just a tad bit, and they are projecting the season to be over. I think it was like October 12th was when the season, like when the finals last game was going to be ended, and the NBA season was going to officially wrap up here. And I was talking, and I think that NBA is trying to rival the NFL because they're going into the heart of the NFL season. Do you think that the NBA is mad that the NFL is playing on Christmas Day this year and going to take away all that viewership and whatnot?
100% I do. And not only that, I think the NBA is trying to be the first to market before the NFL, right? Because the commissioner has already come out and said, for the NFL, we are having fans in the stand. We are having an NFL season. Hell, they're already starting. I think next week they get to go back for workouts. I think that's what I heard earlier today on Sports Talk Radio, that they're actually going to be able to go back and start getting in-person workouts for the NFL. So I think the NBA is trying to be first to market, try to suck up a little bit of income, because we all know when the NFL is on, NBA doesn't matter.
Right. Yeah. And I don't have the numbers in front of me by whatsoever, but I want to say that the NBA regular season is probably 4th in the rankings in the top 5 major sports. NFL is obviously number 1. I would say MLB is probably number 2, and hockey is number 3, especially with the Las Vegas what was the Las Vegas Knights coming up from this last year. That new expansion team really brought hockey back to top tier sports here. So I think the NBA is just simply trying to gain a leg up and gain popularity in the end, because right now regular season NBA is horrible. Like who wants to watch these bitchy millionaires half-assed up and down the court? I only watch NBA for the playoffs.
Yeah, that's the only time I ever watched That's the only one. That's the only time I ever watch basketball is during the playoffs. That's it.
Yeah, I mean, I occasionally tune in Christmas Day just because I get tired of the family and whatnot. Like I just got to get away for like a second. I turn on see if LeBron James is doing his thing. But usually he's just outside shooting threes and jogging up and down the courts, and I tune off like instantly. So
I don't know. Basketball is just not entertaining to me.
Yeah, I enjoy high school basketball. I enjoy college basketball. The reason why I don't enjoy NBA basketball so much is because it is a 82 game season. Like it is way too long. Players get tired. They're playing 3 games a week. Same thing with Major League Baseball. Do we really need 162 games in a season? No, we need about 50 or 60 to be honest.
Yeah, exactly. I don't watch baseball except for, and obviously I am a huge Yankees fan. And I don't even watch. I catch, maybe 20, 30 games a season of the Yankees. And that's
baseball is relevant from opening day till the end of April, All-Star weekend, and then August on. That's the only time baseball is really relevant in my household, to be totally honest.
Yeah, same here. And then playoffs.
Obviously play playoffs.
I usually watch at the end for the hunt for October.
Yeah,
when I really start paying attention.
Yeah, me being a Kansas City fan here, I'm usually checked out about May because we're already 50 losses in the L slot there, so we're pretty much out of it 9 times out of 10. But yeah, I mean the NBA is definitely just trying to get some clout at the end of the day. They're not going to rival the rankings. If a Game 7 falls on a Sunday, I don't have the schedule in front of me by any means, but it'll be early October. We could have the Saints versus Tampa Bay and a Game 7 on at the same time. The NBA game setting ranks is going to go tank.
Yeah,
it's simple as that. So that is, guys, that is what's on Mike's mind currently. So we are going to get into our little debate portion of today's show. Like I said, no fancy edits tonight. What's up, Cindy? 1 second. Keys for the wife. Boom. All right. Sorry about that, guys. Got a whiny kid back there if you guys heard that like as well. So Drew Brees comments have come out. Mike, I'm going to let you lead the way on this. I'm going to add my 2 cents as necessary.
Yeah, so Drew Brees came out today, said, "I love and respect my teammates, and I stand right there with them in regards to fighting racial equality and justice. But I also stand for my grandfathers who risked their lives for this country, and countless other military men and women who do it on a daily basis. Our communities are under siege, and we need help," was Jenkins' response. So while I understand where Drew Brees is coming from, right, because I'm ex-military, the flag means something different to me than it does to you.
Right.
You know what I mean? As an American citizen, the flag doesn't mean the same thing it does to me. So I think Drew Brees probably should have worded his statement a little different, because it did make it sound like stop your bitching and let's just move on, is what I kind of took from it.
Yeah, and I also I slightly skimmed through that article as well, or it could have been a different article as well. And there was something about kneeling in there as well. And I thought he said that he would not support his teammates if they kneeled during the national anthem.
Yeah.
I think that kind of stirred things up. I like as well.
Yeah, he said, "I believe we should all stand for the national anthem and respect our country and all of those who sacrifice so much more for our freedoms." So I get Drew Brees he's not talking about in my opinion anyway, he's not talking about what's going on in our country with the
Right.
police brutality and everything like that. He's talking about the actual men and women in uniform. And that's the stance that he's taking. While I agree with him, I do find it disrespectful if you don't kneel, or if you kneel for the flag and the
If you don't stand,
anthem. Yeah, but we're going back to the flag and our national anthem means something different to me.
Right.
So I'm gonna take this back a little bit. A couple of years ago, when Cap was kneeling, I will be the first one to say I disagree with him kneeling and everyone in the NFL taking a knee. That was my own stupidity because I didn't look at the real reason why Kaepernick was taking a knee. He was taking a knee for the social injustice and the police brutality of the black community.
Right.
I didn't even see that. So I apologize for that. But when it comes to our men and women in uniform, there's nothing you can tell me. There's absolutely nothing you can tell me that will make me agree with you kneeling, sitting, whatever, other than standing for the national anthem and standing when our flag is flying.
Right.
Nothing.
And I just want to put this out here real quick that I agree with you 100% on that stance. I think everybody should stand, put their hands behind their back, like over their heart, etc. when all that is happening. However, if you remember when Kaepernick first started to do all this stuff, there was a U.S. soldier that come out and said, hey, if you really want to make a big stand, take a knee. You will bring more clout to your cause if you take a knee, because I fought for you overseas so you can take a knee, like just like you have that right. So the biggest issue that I have right now is the only reason why Drew Brees is getting any backlash on this is because he is white. Let's be totally honest about that. The only reason why he's getting backlash right now is because he is white. Now, let's go ahead and move on past that point. Now,
I don't think it's because he's yes, because he's white, but he's also the true leader of that team.
Well, let's put this in a different perspective. Let's say Lamar Jackson said the same exact statements that Drew Brees said. Would people be telling him to shut up?
I think so.
I don't think so, because Lamar Jackson is a black leader in the NFL community, and he would have more backing than what Drew Brees has.
No, but I've seen some people that have have big platforms saying, kind of the same things as Drew Brees said, and they're getting a lot of slack for it right now. What is her name? She's a young politician. She's a Republican. I can't think of her name.
Is it the black girl that always is talking for Trump?
Yeah.
It's Candace something. I don't know her last name.
Candace Owens. Candace Owens. So when everything happened with George Floyd and everything like that, like she was speaking out against what everybody else was saying, like, hey, it's murder. And then she was like, there's always two sides of the story, blah, 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 blah.
Right.
And even now she's getting a lot of slack for it. And she has a huge platform. She's a politician too. So I don't think Lamar Jackson would have been – I don't think he would – I think he would have gotten just as much shit as Drew Brees is getting. I really do. But just because of what is going on in our country. And by the way, did you see today that the guy that put his knee on that guy's neck, they upgraded the charges to second-degree murder, and the three other ones were charged with accessory to murder.
Yeah, accessory and aiding and abetting or something to that effect. Yeah, I did hear that on the radio as I was pulling into KCK here earlier this afternoon. But let me go ahead and take a step further here. So the NFL, you can say, blackballed Colin Kaepernick from coming back into the NFL because of the kneeling. So let's say, for example, top athletes, white, black, purple, green, whatever, start taking knees. Does the NFL have to blackball those players as well?
No, I don't think so. And I think we as a country that when Kaepernick started doing it, we look at it a little different, right? Because, like I said earlier, when I saw him taking the knee during the national anthem, like I took that as a disrespect for
Right.
soldiers,
I
not.
still do. I still do take it as disrespectful.
But with everything that's gone on, I think we need to start looking at letting Kaepernick back in the league.
Well,
I mean, he's a Super Bowl quarterback. He made it to the Super Bowl.
okay.
He has a talent, right?
No. Kaepernick is out of the league not because he took a knee. It's because he wasn't a very good talent. Look at the stats. He basically Trent Dilford himself into that Super Bowl. Let's be honest about that. He had a workout last year that he didn't even show up to.
Well, yeah. I mean, what's the point? If I was in Kaepernick's position, I wouldn't show up in it either. You're like, well,
I would have showed up to I would have showed up and shown out to show people that the NFL was blackballing me. I mean,
true. I mean, I would have took the stance of you're just going to blackball me anyway. Why am I going to go and waste my time
to prove them wrong? If you, yeah, but yeah. So, I support Drew Brees' comments, but I don't fully support. Like he should have had a PR person help him out with the statements or something.
100%.
So, yeah.
Now, here comes the question: has Drew Brees lost the locker room?
Judging from the comments that, like I said, I just signed on here, checking some stuff out, rereading articles, and scrolling through Twitter, and current teammates, past teammates, they are saying, hey, we are not going to let Drew Brees slide on these comments. And, they're like, he has lost a locker room before he even had a chance to explain himself. So, yeah. he's definitely lost the locker room 100%. I think we both had the Saints going pretty far, pretty winning this division.
It kind of changes things.
Yeah, just by these comments alone, they could be an 8-8 team. Like, honestly,
I mean, it's going to be a huge distraction.
Yeah,
especially with the NFL letting people getting back to workouts and things like that. Even college
this week,
football,
yeah, right.
Even college football is getting back to workouts. But yeah, I mean, I think it's going to cause a huge distraction, and this is something that's just not going to go away. This is something that is going to probably ride out throughout the whole entire season.
Do you bench Drew Brees, cut him, or release him because of this? Because they do have Jameis there as a backup. They still have Taysom Hill. They could set an example if they wanted to, right?
They could. The Saints could, and where the Saints are in Louisiana is, that's
deep south. Yeah.
That's deep south. That's a predominantly black community. You know what I mean? So, if I don't know, man, it's if your teammates give up on you, what do you do as a coach, and what do you do as an owner?
Right. I know this is a movie, but any given Sunday we saw it where the lineman just refused to block for what's his face. Yeah, and he got killed, and he basically had to make love to them all to say, hey, my bad, yada yada yada. So Drew Brees is going to have to do damage control real quick here, or it could be a very, very long season for him. But I don't know about that.
I agree.
But I think at the end of the day, he may have lost respect in the locker room as far as hey, I am your leader, the who dat and all that chanting stuff before the game might not be happening this season. But
what about the fans now? You know what I mean? This goes deeper than
winning cures all.
Yeah, this is true. Winning does cure all, but this goes deeper than just inside the locker room. Now you've pissed off your fan base too. These are people that spend money to go to the games.
I see what you're saying, but to be honest, everything that is happening right now, the protest, the looting, the rioting, the charges, people killing cops and I think all that is overshadowing this right now. So people are going to forget Drew Brees even said this probably within the next 3 or 4 days. Do you remember the Killer Hornets?
Hell yeah, I had one at my window who was trying to get me.
Yeah. So see how quickly people forgot about the Killer Hornets. Like I
Yeah, I
sent you
mean,
that, like that
yeah,
meme.
I mean, just like that. I made a comment, or I sent you a meme the other day, and just like that, COVID was gone.
Right. 100%. So Drew Brees has lost the locker room right now. He will gain it back once the season starts, though.
We'll see. It's definitely going to be interesting.
Yeah, so guys, let us know what you think about in the comments below here. This is Just for Clicks, raw, uncut sports talk, rtfsportsnetwork.com, here on Charm City Direct TV as well as YouTube and Just for Clicks Facebook page as well. So it is that time of day where we're going to break down the 2020 Carolina Panthers games here, Mike LeBlanc. No fancy sound effects. No taking the dubs here. So let me go ahead and pull up the Carolina Panthers schedule here. And first things first, they're at home taking on the Raiders. Who do you got in that one?
Oh man, this is going to be hard with the Raiders because, just like we've said in the past shows, either the Raiders are going to be really good or they're going to be really shitty. Give me the Panthers in this game.
Yeah, I'm taking the Panthers as well. They're at home. Teddy Bridgewater is going to make a statement his first game at home as the Carolina Panthers, and with the Raiders traveling from the West Coast to the East Coast, playing that 1:00 game, being early, a young team with a coach that doesn't trust the quarterback. The Las Vegas Raiders are going to be really up in the air all season. Moving on to the next week, they travel to Tampa to take on the Bucks. Who do you got?
I've got the Bucks winning this game.
Yeah, Tom Brady is going to be a little too much for Teddy Bridgewater and Christian McCaffrey and the rest of the gang there. Tampa Bay is going to look solid, but there's still going to be a little loose ends there. This is a type of game where they get to tie them up late. Next week, they travel to Los Angeles to take on the Chargers. Who do you got?
Ooh, give me the Chargers in this game. Wait. Let me hold on. No, I'm gonna take Carolina. I think this is a game where Christian McCaffrey kind of goes off a little bit, and everybody's like, "Oh, see, I told you, Christian McCaffrey is the best."
Right.
So yeah, give me the Panthers in this game.
Yeah, I think the Chargers are much like the Raiders. We don't know really where they're at. Are they going to be 13-3, or are they going to be 3-13? I'm going on the latter part. I think they're going to be 3-13, kind of a horrible season. The Panthers get their first win on the road. We both have them moving on 2-1. Moving on to week number 4, they're at home taking on the Arizona Cardinals. Who do you got?
Give me the Panthers. Listen to me for a minute.
I got you.
So that big defensive tackle from Auburn, Derek Brown, their draft pick, I think crushes that interior line and gets to Kyler Murray a few times. Watching Derek Brown in last season, the dude was super disruptive. So I think he's going to carry that on into the NFL.
Right. I mean the defense in college to the defense in the NFL isn't much of a transition because defense is read and react. You can play a cover 3. It's a cover 3 is the same in elementary school to the NFL. A disguise cover 2 is the same in elementary to the NFL. It doesn't matter. If you are stud on the defense, it is going to carry on over to the NFL. No problems asked. With that being said, I do like the Panthers front 7. I don't like the Panthers secondary. They have big question marks in the secondary, and the Arizona Cardinals got weapons on the outside. They got Hopkins. They got Larry Fitzgerald. They have Kyler Murray another year in that system. I'm picking the Cardinals to beat the Panthers on the road there, even on the early game. I have them going 2-2 on the season. Going into week number 5, you have them at 3-1, traveling to Atlanta in week number 5 to take on the Falcons. Who do you got?
This is a hard game. I think the Panthers win this game, honestly. Like I've said in our past shows, The Falcons are in full rebuild mode here.
They might be in full rebuild mode, but it is still a division game on the road for the Panthers. Give me the Falcons in this one. I think Matt Ryan and Todd Gurley and Julio Jones on the outside. I think they have a big game. Looking at your record here, you had them 4-1 going into week 6. People are probably talking about the Panthers right now, giving them that hype train.
Yeah, they are. They're going to be talking about this hype train till the following week against the Bears. Let's just go into it next week against the Bears. I think the Panthers beat the Bears. I think Christian McCaffrey goes off again, and they're 5-1 at this point. And they're like, "See, I told you, Teddy Bridgewater is the truth, and Christian McCaffrey, they're a 1-2 punch. It's great. Panthers to the Super Bowl."
Yeah, but they also beat the wrangling Bears out in the wind. You could put the Chicago Bears on a flagpole, just waving in that north wind, and they'll probably get more wins than they will in this season. The Panthers beat the Bears at home, beat them soundly.
Yeah,
the Bears don't know who they are. At this point,
I think Alabama, Roll Tide, I think Alabama could beat.
Oh, do not start with that. People have been debating that for. Do you remember the Browns were 2-14 for 3 or 4 years in a row, and Alabama's winning all those national championships? No, there's no way a college team can beat an NFL team. Just don't even get that out of your mouth right now.
I don't know, man. I don't know. There's been some pretty stout college teams that I think could hang with some of the worst NFL teams.
You also have to think everybody on that NFL team is an NFL player.
True.
20% of those kids on that college team might have a shot in the NFL. So just put that out there. Moving on to week number 7, they travel to Drew Brees and the New Orleans Saints.
And here's where their strength of schedule comes in. And this is where we're going to start to see the downfall of the Panthers this season. I've got the Saints beating the Panthers, and I've got them beating them soundly.
Yeah, before today, I had the Saints beating them, but I don't know where the Saints' head are they going to be? Are they going to be healed come week 7? I don't think it really matters. I think a fractured Saints team playing at a C+ ball can still beat the Panthers playing A+ ball. Saints win this game. Moving on to the next week, a Thursday night game at home, take on the Atlanta Falcons. Who do you got?
So coming off of that Saints loss, and I think the Saints are going to beat up Teddy Bridgewater in that game. Number one, Teddy Bridgewater came from the Saints, right?
Right.
So they probably have a little bad taste in the mouth that he took off. So,
well, they didn't really offer him a contract though.
They didn't, but we all know how the Saints are. They're very much team oriented, right? Drew Brees has taken how many team friendly deals has Drew Brees taken?
Yeah, ever since he left San Diego. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, so they're a very team oriented team. So I think they got a little bad taste in their mouth with Teddy Bridgewater taken back because. What if Drew Brees does get hurt? Now we got to rely on Jameis Winston when we had you that we knew could lead us if Drew Brees was hurt.
So, do they really know that, though? Because, they played conservative ball for 3 or 4 games. But they also, look who they played, though, at the same time.
At the end of the day, remember what you just said. At the end of the day, they're all NFL players.
Right. But when you have a full team of NFL players versus a team of crappier NFL teams, it's just like playing college or high school ball at the end of the day.
I've got the Falcons winning this game. Honestly, I think the Falcons come in and stun them because they're kind of scrambling after the Saints loss, and they're trying to figure out what they can improve on. And the Falcons kind of figure out how to beat the Panthers. They stack the box and make Teddy Bridgewater go out and get it. And Teddy Bridgewater reminds me of another Dak Prescott.
And I want to take exactly what you said there. The Falcons are going to make Teddy Bridgewater beat them, and Teddy Bridgewater showed you why he is a starter in the NFL still after tearing his ACL, being a backup for the Saints. They do beat the Falcons at home on Thursday Night Football. I had them going 4-4 going into week number 9. You have them at 5-3 right now, traveling to Arrowhead to take on the Chiefs. Who do you got?
I've got the Chiefs. There's no way that high-powered offense of the Chiefs is going to just lay over and let the Panthers win. Like you said, the Panthers have a good front seven. That secondary is suspect.
Right.
And we know, yes, Patrick Mahomes is a damn good quarterback, and we know he can carve up a defense.
He can.
So, and I think that's exactly what's going to happen in this game. I see this game being like 35-14.
And you are 100% wrong on that. They are going to ground and pound the heck out of this ball. They're going to take a book out of the Tennessee Titans offense here in that first half in the AFC Championship game. Yes, Patrick Mahomes is probably the best quarterback in the league, hands down. He can carve up that defense 100%. But if he is on the sidelines for 17 minutes in the first half, it is tough to carve up a defense when you're sitting on the sidelines. I think the Chiefs are going to win, but it's going to be an ugly 17-14 type of score game.
No, I think it's going to be a blowout. They're going to take the Falcons are going to show how to beat the Panthers.
Right.
They're going to stack the box, and they're going to make and from that Falcons game on for the rest of the season. That's what everybody's going to do, just like they did with the Cowboys, right? They stack the box, they stop Zeke, make Dak go win the game. Dak can't do it. That's why he was shit against playoff teams or teams that were above 500, right?
Right.
The Panthers with McCaffrey and Bridgewater are the same exact duo. I won't say McCaffrey is as good as a running back as Zeke. I think Zeke is a much better full back than McCaffrey. But they're going to stack the box. The rest of the teams, they're going to stack the box, and they're going to make Bridgewater go win the game. And Bridgewater is a game manager. He can't. He's not going to go out and win games.
But he won't lose you games either.
No, he won't lose you games. But you're going to have to rely on that run game to get you some points.
Right.
And it's not going to happen. And every team's going to be expecting that screen because McCaffrey had the most yards after catch last season with a little over 1,000 yards.
Yeah,
yard after catch. So they're already going to be looking for that. And
I believe I saw some stat where Christian McCaffrey touched the ball 70% of the Panthers' offensive plays last season, or something to that effect. So just kind of keep that in mind moving forward here. Now, you were talking about the strength of schedule here. They played the Saints, the Falcons, Chiefs, and now they're at home taking on the Bucks. Who do you got?
I've got the Bucks again in this game. Tom Brady is too much. Tom Brady and Gronk and all them, they're too much. Mike Evans, it's too much. It's too much for the Panthers defense to deal with, especially that secondary. We've never known Tom Brady to have a run game. He's always the one that goes out and wins the game. That's what made him the GOAT, which I don't agree with. I don't think he's the GOAT. But that's what made him in that conversation is Tom Brady is the one that goes out and wins those games. So, and I see the same thing here. Tom Brady is going to carve up that secondary. That secondary is suspect.
Yeah, it's 100% suspect, and this is Week 10. Tom Brady and Mike Evans are starting to get a connection down. The Tampa Bay team is going to start to look much like the Patriots of old back in their prime days. I'm taking the Bucks to win this game. I have the Panthers 4-6 so far on the season. You had them at 500 going into Week 11, taking on the Super Bowl champions Detroit Lions.
You put that crack pipe down. But here's the game that I think here's one of the games I think the Lions win. I think they take a page from everybody else, and you stack the box against Christian McCaffrey, and you put a spy out for the screen, and you lock that. If you can lock down Christian McCaffrey on the run game and that screen, you have taken that offense completely off its heels, and now they're backpedaling, trying to figure out what the hell they're going to do.
Yeah, I see what you're saying, but this is a game that the Detroit Lions are kind of overlooking a tad bit here. They are more worried about the Houston Texans here on Thanksgiving Day. So this is a trap game for them. This is a game that they can definitely win, but I have them losing this game because they're looking forward to play the Texans at home on Thanksgiving Day. So I have them 5-6. You have them at 5-6 as well, going into the next week when they travel to Minnesota to take on the Vikings. Who do you got?
Minnesota at home. Give me Minnesota. I think they beat the Panthers at home.
Yeah, Kirk Cousins does do well when it's non-primetime games or pressure games. This is a non-primetime game, and they're at home. Give me the Vikings, 5-7. We both have them going into the bye week number 13. At this point, does Teddy Bridgewater still have a job?
Yeah, I mean, who's their backup?
They picked up that XFL guy, and then let me look at the roster real quick. They have Will Geer from West Virginia and PJ Walker, the XFL quarterback from the Roughnecks, I do believe, and Matt Rule did coach PJ Walker in colleges as well. So
maybe at this point, they start trying with another quarterback. I don't think so. I think they're going to, regardless, win, lose, or draw, they're going to ride Teddy out the rest of the season. But I don't know if Teddy Bridgewater has a job in 2021 with the Panthers.
So let me piggyback on what you said. If Teddy Bridgewater is still playing solid football, I think he has a job after the bye week and past that point. Now, if he's throwing 2-3 interceptions a game and just forcing the ball where it don't belong, and the team just isn't responding to him, going 5-7 into a bye week in this division with the Saints and the Bucks, you can definitely see them going for Will Geer or PJ Walker at the end of the day. So speaking of bye week. They do have a bye week. Then they're at home taking on the Denver Broncos. Who do you got?
I got the Carolina Panthers winning at home against the Broncos. It's a toss-up. I think Locke might do something this season.
Right.
I'm not 100% sure. If Locke has got it together, the Broncos are my sleeper team this season.
Yeah, which is a really good sleeper pick.
That Broncos are my sleeper pick this season. But I still think that Christian McCaffrey, this will be a game Christian McCaffrey kind of goes off, even though, they stack the box. The Broncos defense is still kind of suspect, especially their front seven. So, yeah, give me the Panthers in this game.
Yeah, and I like everything that you said about Drew Lock. People are saying this is Drew Lock's season to really come out and be a top 10 quarterback in the NFL. I think he has the ability, he has the smarts, he has the arm strength to do very, very well. I just don't have faith in that Denver Bronco coaching staff.
No.
I mean, what is it? It's still a Fox, and he reminds me a lot of John Gruden. He was really good back in the day. Times have changed. You need to evolve. With that being said, I think the Broncos are a much improved team, but they're just not going to beat the Panthers at home coming off of a bye week. Just not going to happen.
Not off of the bye week.
Moving on to the next week, they travel to Lambeau to take on the Packers. Who do you got?
I got the Packers.
Yeah, we picked this game just a couple of days ago. I had the Packers as well. This is one of those flex games that, if both teams are in the hunt, they could play a primetime game. But this will be a 1:00 kickoff and probably blacked out on most networks, to be honest. Moving on to the next game, they travel to Washington to take on the Redskins. Who do you got?
I've got the Redskins. You're playing the Redskins at home. Historically, the Redskins do play good at home.
Yeah.
And I think the problems with the Redskins are on the offensive side of the ball. I think their defense is pretty decent, and
probably
I think
top 5.
Yeah, at least top 5, and that's where Teddy Bridgewater and Christian McCaffrey are going to struggle. I see Bridgewater forcing the ball in this game, throwing those 2 or 3 picks. I even see Christian McCaffrey fumbling once or twice in this game too. I think this is going to be kind of a shocker to people, But I see the Redskins winning this game 28-10, 28-14.
Let me take a book from you. You know, people have been stacking the box to stop Christian McCaffrey, forcing Teddy Bridgewater to throw down the field. Guess what? Washington Redskins don't have to stack the box to stop the run. They can
Nope.
stop the run with their front seven. They can man up on the outside. They could play zone. You know, their front fours probably can dominate any offensive line in the league right now, besides the Dallas Cowboys when healthy. So I'm going to take the Washington Redskins in this game, given the Panthers are ninth loss in the season, and I would love to see Alex Smith start this game. I would love to
I
see
would
that.
too. I would love to see Alex Smith. If Alex Smith can come back earlier in the season, watch out. The Redskins may be playing for the division.
Yeah, people forget that they have a solid offense. They still have Clinton Portis over there. They have
Mhm.
some they have some they have some no name but really good receivers. Their defense is pretty damn good as well. You know, they get one or two breaks, they could be a sleeper team as well. So definitely watch out for them. But I just don't think this year is their year, to be honest. If Dwayne Haskins is still playing,
Yeah,
so
if Alex Smith plays, starting halfway through the season, as a Cowboys fan, I'm a little worried.
if they sit Dwayne Haskins after week 5, they have a shot. Like,
Yep.
I don't care if it's Alex Smith or whoever else quarterback they have on the roster. I just don't think Dwayne Haskins is the answer there in Washington. Moving on to Week 17, the final game of the season, they're taking on the New Orleans Saints at home. Who do you got?
I got the Saints.
Mm-mm-mm. I have the Saints as well. I think the Saints have to play this game. They have to win this game to win the division or even have a shot at the wild card. So they're not going to be sitting Drew Brees or anybody like that. And they lay it on the Panthers and show them that, hey, we are still the team in our division. So we both have them going 6-10 on the season. Kind of surprising that we kind of agree on that. So are there any games that could flip flop the season on you to make that a 10-6 season?
I mean, I've got the Bucks sweeping them. So one of those games, they're gonna have to split the series with the Bucks.
Yeah.
Um, they'll have to sweep the Falcons. And I have the Saints beating them in both games. They'll have to split the series with the Saints also. Maybe that game against the Redskins they win, and then sneak into the playoffs as a wild card. But I really highly doubt it. I don't think there's a whole lot of games on that schedule where it could go either way. I think a lot of their losses are definitive losses.
Yeah, I agree with you on that, but let me circle that week 7 game, October 25th, when they travel to New Orleans to take on the Saints. We know that momentum in the NFL is killer. If
Yeah.
they can go into New Orleans and beat the Saints, I don't care if it's 17-14 or 106 to 6. If they go into New Orleans and beat the Saints, this could be a 10-6 team, to be honest with you. Like, just that one game could catapult them, or have them going directly where we both have them going at 6-10. I'm definitely circling that game 100%. So, any closing thoughts, Mike?
I don't, man. No closing thoughts tonight. Just, the same message that I preach every time since everything that's gone on in this country, man. Love one another.
All right, guys, that is going to be it for tonight's show. Join us tomorrow, same time, same place, and we will be raw and uncut again tomorrow night. So, Mike, have a good night.
I got one more thing. Somebody asked me to give them a shout out. So Malia, roll tide.
Malia, roll tide. Is she from Alabama?
She's from Alabama.
Roll tide. All right, guys, have a good night.